So if we're going to have discussions about weight and health, it really needs to be focused on underweight.
Yo-yo and hello, my name is Lydia, and on today's episode of my 25-pound yo-yo, we will be talking about deflection and how fat activists use deflection to stop people from talking about their real issues. You see, deflection is a very interesting little thing that we can do to make people focus on something else instead of focusing on our real issues. Today's TikTok will showcase a fat activist that thinks that it's better to deflect attention on overweight people to those that are underweight because their body weight puts them at more health risks than those that are overweight. But just because someone is at more risk than you does not mean that you are at no risk. If you were standing on the ledge of a building and your friend was standing farther out on the ledge of the building, does that make both of you safe? No, it makes your friend at more risk than you, but you're still at risk because you're also standing on the ledge of the building. The idea should be to get everyone safe, bring everyone back inside the building, everyone back to a normal and healthy weight. But that is not the way that fat activists work. No, we have to address those are at the most risk. That way we can deflect any attention on us. So why don't we watch this next TikTok and see what sort of deflection we can pick up on, then come back and discuss.
So I have a degree in public health, but I also am a nationally ranked strong woman who is considered morbidly obese because of my weight and my size, not independent of my strength, right? I think it's important that we note which weight category actually does have the highest risk for mortality, and that is the underweight category. So studies over the past 20 years have shown that folks who are in the overweight category and the first two categories of obesity, so that's 1 and 2, tend to live longer than folks that are in the normal weight category. Even morbidly obese folks who follow the 4 principles that I told you about before tend to have relatively long lifespans. The riskiest category to be in by far, by a multiplier, by an exponent, is the underweight category because your body is struggling for nutrients and you are not able to process the nutrition that you need in order to survive. So if we're going to have discussions about weight and health, it really needs to be focused on underweight population.
Let's start by looking at the graph that depicts this study. Now, this is an all-cause mortality graph, and we can see that it's broken down by BMI. And the shape of this graph is a J, where we can see that being underweight is of a higher risk than being of normal weight or even overweight or obese class 1. Now, nobody is debating that being underweight is healthy. That is a known entity. And we have so much material out there about the dangers of EDs and the dangers of being underweight, and social media has gone so far as to ban that type of content. However, we still have binging and mukbangs all over YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, so I don't really understand the double standard here. Nobody, and I repeat, nobody, is advocating for health at every size, including underweight people. This just doesn't exist. The health at every size talk is happening on the other side of the spectrum. Also, only 1.6% of the American population is underweight, whereas over 30% of the population is obese. So which of these is an epidemic? Also remember that the lower ends of obesity are the ones that have lower risk. And most people that are in these lower ends don't even know that they're obese. Most people that think that they are obese are actually obese class 3. Remember, this is what obese class 1 looks like. Most people don't even think that this body is overweight, but it is. It's in fact obese. Also, when you go deeper into the study, you can see that pretty much all causes of death have increased risk with obesity. There's very, very few where the risk does not go up. And the study didn't correct for behaviors like smoking and drinking, which we also know are unhealthy. And the studies that do correct for that show definitively that obesity does increase your chance of mortality. In fact, there are numerous other studies that say obesity is more harmful than drinking or smoking. But if you drink and smoke and are obese, well, then you have all the things against you. But whenever the conversation about smoking or drinking comes up, I hear fat activists say, well, I don't smoke or drink, so therefore I must be healthy. I'm sorry, but not smoking does not balance out obesity. It just makes it not as bad as being obese and a smoker, but if you are one or the other, it's still a health problem. And finally, the article concludes with the following statement. The bottom line is that too much fat is bad for your health and increases your risk of dying prematurely. We still have a long way to go in our fight against obesity, and if anything, we need to redouble, not reduce, our efforts. So, once again, we can see that the point of this publication was completely missed. We don't need to concentrate our efforts on the underweight. We do need to concentrate our efforts on the overweight and obese. They do present more health challenges, and there are far more obese people that need help than those that are underweight. Underweight people do have higher medical risks than those that are of normal weight, but there is no epidemic of them. The obesity epidemic is real. And deflecting from it might feel good, but it really helps nobody. But alas, this is my 25-pound yo-yo, and not being underweight is the real medical crisis. So until next time, yo-yo and let's go.